Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we're going through the Hawthorn versus Fremantle game, in a game in which I didn't catch any of the action even though I was at the Swans game itself, and this game happens to be on at the same time because the AFL decides let's have overlapping games because that'll work, right? Two overlapping games this week, and and this was the only one I didn't actually catch any of the action, but I sort of was watching along with it as me and my mates had some tips on it, and I went for Freo. My mate went for Hawthorn. So yeah, I got one wrong again. My tipping this week has been pretty poor. Yet again, even though I tipped Carlton, I will say I did say that it could be the Bulldogs. So I did say that would be very Bulldogs worthy of them just having a stinker and then coming back and winning. So I did say that could be a possibility. But yeah, my tips this week have been pretty poor. But anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the recap. So, Meek against Jackson. He dominated in the hit-out department. 51 hit-outs to Jackson's, where's Jackson here? 31. So yeah, they definitely did dominate the hit-outs. You can see here hit-outs in total 52 to 35. Meek did go 105. I think that Meek was... I knew he was going to go big-ish this week because he had the Jackson combo, but I didn't think he would be that serviceable for the rest of the year, given if we go to Ethan Phillips, who plays for the same side. They just played Fremantle. He's got Collingwood, Darcy Cameron. He doesn't really have a positive ruck matchup for the rest of the year, I don't think. So that's why I was against going for Lloyd Meek for those going off Grundy. Off Gorn. Will Day, 83, and this is what I was talking about with Will Day and these 700k guys, is they look good for like 1, 2, 3 weeks, Will Day, but there was something about Will Day that he hadn't performed well this season. He had a top score of a 109, then a 102, two 109s and a 102, then a couple of 90s. It wasn't like Rosie in a way, where Rosie was returning to form, returning to like the first sort of 6 weeks form. Will Day was slightly different, so that's why Will Day was probably a no-go when we were looking at him. But I can understand why people did go for him in the end, but I just think that it was probably a little bit of a bad decision in the end to go Will Day, and he'll be needed to be traded out now. Sicily, 79, and just when you thought Sicily was good, he drops a stinker like this. He was actually playing up forward, kicked 3 goals in the end. So yeah, 26, 11, 21, 21, that's 53, yeah. So these scores are right. The first game that I've just recorded the video, they didn't have the right first quarter scores, but these ones do. So that's good. Where did he kick his goals? He kicked 2 goals in the last and a goal in the third. So yeah, he got pushed forward. I don't know whether that was injury related or something, but yeah, just pushed forward and kicked 3 goals in the end. Warble, 78. So none of these guys really scored well for Hawthorn. Warble, 78. Amon, 77. Newcomb. Dylan Moore, 73. Got off to an absolute flyer and then stopped. Was on 50 at halftime, and then a 23 second half just really sucked. Simply put. Got nothing in the third quarter. If he'd done a decent third quarter, this would have been an 80. And this is the problem about these forwards, is that, and like you were looking at with probably a lot of you with Charlie Curnow, he had nothing basically, and then ended up with 3 goals, 7. So when we'll see the recap of that, you'll see how crazy that game was. But Dylan Moore, something very similar. He's very, very streaky, and so 18 touches, 3 marks, 3 tackles, and a goal. You probably wanted a little bit more, but in the end, it's all right. And then basically, none of the other guys matter. I can simply put that. Like MP, McDonald, Nash, Bruce, Scrimshaw, Watson did all right, but he's a small forward, so he's not going to be fancy relevant. Hardwick, Giath, Weddle, I thought he would be one that would sort of expand his game, but in the end he kicked, a goal, 10 touches, 5 marks for tackle. Not really fancy relevant, which kind of sucks for him. And then, yeah, no one else here. Ward with a 37. Really weird. Really, really weird, and I thought he'd be more. 10 touches, 3 marks, 1 tackle. I just thought as a junior he'd be contributing more when looking at his junior numbers. But yeah, just really surprised about that from Josh Ward. And he's now going to be averaging, or I would say he could be one next year potentially, but he'll still be averaging like 50 or so, give or take. Given that, what's he averaging at the moment? Let's just check Ward here. Ward is down here. He's averaging now 56.7. So yeah, not really fancy relevant. Morrison, Mackenzie as well. Another guy. I thought he would pop off, and he just hasn't. So I feel like those two are going to be guys that just, when they get their career sorted, they'll be sort of 70, 80 guys. Jackson, 111, absolutely huge when he doesn't have to double ruck. When he's solo ruck, he looks absolutely immense. 20 touches, 2 marks, 6 tackles, 31 hit-outs, 1 goal, 2. Absolutely immense. Could have probably gone bigger. But yes, just really happy to see that. And another big score from him gets him back on track. And I believe it was also like a 116 Supercoach as well, which is absolutely huge. Jordan Clark, 104, and this is what we sort of paid up for him absolutely doing this. And got off to a slow start, but second half got going. 20 touches, 9 marks, 5 tackles, 3 free kicks, 4 1 against. That cancels each other out. But a 104 from him, so huge. Sarong, 88. It's good to see him starting to drop absolutely down the order now. He's going to probably be 830k or so, which is kind of crazy given that he started and at one point was 1.05 million. So I remember also doing this, and it'll prove my point to a certain extent here, was Bontempelli. Bontempelli scored another clean 100, which is his second straight clean 100, but he's averaging 107. Sarong now, and Bont was 999k. Sarong is averaging 105, so he's averaging worse than Bontempelli. And Sarong was priced. Sarong's lost 200k for those people that got him in. And in that time, he's really, really struggling. So it's a really, really weird one to see that part way through the season. Everyone was like, oh, Bontempelli, he's so bad. He's so this. You've lost. Why'd you go Bontempelli? And I'm not saying it was the right decision, but now Caleb Sarong's come back to the pack. You can look at Merritt as well. He was absolutely flying. He's come back to the pack as well. So all those guys have come back to the pack, and now Bontempelli looks like one of the better guys just because he's averaging almost more across the season. So it's one of those crazy situations where price fluctuations occur quite rapidly. Sharp with an 87. Of course, when everyone gets rid of him, he starts he's gone. This is totally what a winger does. 118, 88, 105, 80, 15, 39, 98, 34. 87. He's just gone up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. Brayshaw, 84. Young, 81. I thought he got off to a really, really good start and then just flopped, which really does suck. Last 3 quarters of a 47 really didn't help. O'Meara, Chapman, Wagner, Cox, Ryan, 67. So really happy about Ryan going 67, as he still went 98 in Supercoach, but for the people that have him in fantasy, which I still think would be 20-odd%, right? Let's just check that. How many people have him in fantasy? Still 26% have him in fantasy, and that's why I'm happy, because he went 67, and 67 isn't really fantasy relevant. Even for him, anything under a 105 is sort of a win. 5, Tracy, Johnson, Banfield, Aish, Switkowski, Amos, Draper, Voss, Frederick, Stur, and Walters. And that pretty much is the video. They're going through the Hawthorn versus Fremantle game. Hawthorn keep their finals hopes alive. I was very high on them in preseason, and it's going to be interesting to see how they finish out the year. I just want to look at their schedule to finish out the year. They've got 6 games left, and they play Collingwood. That'll be an interesting game next week. That'll be basically whoever wins that probably is knocking the other one out of the season. Adelaide, that could be an interesting one as well. Adelaide have picked up a little bit of form, but if they do beat that, then they'll probably be within percentage of the 8. Then they have GWS, Carlton, Richmond, and North. I think they get to, let's actually check AFL ladder. I think they get to 12 wins, to be honest with you, which is kind of crazy to say that. They're on 9. Hold up a second now. They're on 9, and they've got 1, 2... If they beat Collingwood, I think they could make finals. It's simply put as that. I think they make finals if they beat Collingwood, which is kind of crazy to say, because they could get to 13 wins here. They could easily get to 13, and that'll be probably them in finals. So anyway, that pretty much is the video there, and I guess I will see you guys in the next one, which will be this one's recap. So I'll see you guys in that one. Bye, guys.